So at this time, I'd like to call the adjourned meeting of the planning order at 6 o'clock. And for the Pledge of Allegiance, I'm asked, Bill, if you would recite the Pledge of Allegiance while all of us stand and put our hands over our hearts. So Bill, would you like to recite?
I would love to. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for
which
which it
stands
stands,
one
one
nation
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
with liberty
and justice for all.
for all.
Thank you, sir. Planning Secretary, may we have the roll call, please?
Good evening, Commissioners. My apologies. I'm assisting Commissioner Hernandez to try to link in at the same time.
Oh, okay. Hopefully he'll get in full soon.
So he is linked, but he's having difficulties on his end. Hold on, Johnny. Chairperson Arnold,
Here,
Vice Chair Jimenez,
Here.
Commissioner Carbajal. Francis, I see you. Commissioner Hernandez,
Sorry, I thought I said here. I apologize.
it's okay. Commissioner Rounds,
Here,
Johnny, can you unmute yourself or no? And Commissioner Hernandez just announced present via my cell phone, so we have a full quorum. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next item is item number 4. Is the ex parte communications. This section is intended to allow all officials the opportunity to reveal any disclosure regarding site visits or ex parte communications about public hearings. Is there anyone on the commission or on staff that would that needs to report any ex parte communications?
Commissioner Carbajal, none.
Commissioner Rounds, none.
Vice Chair Jimenez, none.
Commissioner Hernandez, negative.
And Chairperson Arnold, negative. Any, do we have to ask the staff also? Or is just the commissioners?
just Commissioners, Chair Arnold.
Okay, thank you. So the next item is public comments. Public comments are now open. Anyone joining us through Zoom can use the hand raise function if you wish to make a public comment on any item on the agenda or not on the agenda. The planning secretary will see if you have raised your hand through Zoom application. You'll have 3 minutes to speak. Planning secretary, do we have any members of the public present that wish to speak?
No, Chairperson, we do not.
Okay. Okay, so now I'll close public comment and move on to item. Next item is item number 6 regarding new business. The election of commissioner office for 2022. Item number 6 will be tabled until further notice. And then we'll move on to item number 7. Item number 7 is a public hearing. I'd like to call upon Assistant Director Quan Nguyen to please present item number 7.
So before you tonight, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so before you tonight is a request for an amendment to development plan approval case numbers 948 and 949. It involves a property located on the east side of Pioneer Boulevard at 9920 Pioneer Boulevard. with APN 8055-010-011. Property is zoned ML, light manufacturing, and the general plan land use designation is business park. The applicant is Rexford Industrial. So you may recall the property was previously developed with 7 multi-tenant industrial buildings. In those buildings were various offices, warehouse uses, a computer manufacturing and repair facility, a party rental warehouse, and a sandwich shop. So today, if you go out there, you'll notice the buildings have been fully demolished. The applicant is currently conducting an oil well search to essentially confirm the location of existing oil wells and conducting necessary leak tests to determine the next steps. This project actually came before you in April of 2020. And at that time, there was several entitlements, the first of which was a tentative parcel map 82433, which essentially subdivided the property into 2 separate parcels measuring 5.08 acres and 3.26 acres, respectively. This is the tentative parcel map as it was proposed. The parcel 1, which is on the south side, is the parcel that is 5.08 acres, and parcel 2 on the north side is 3.26 acres. So you also note that the property, actually the gross square footage is 9.06 acres, and that is because prior to the parcel map, the property also included a portion of Pioneer Boulevard because there was a street dedication that did not occur. The parcel map does recognize that street dedication, and therefore the net square footage is 8.34, which includes a street dedication as part of the project. You'll also may recall that when it came before you, there was a proposal to create a condo map for the northerly parcel, essentially to create an airspace subdivision so that the buildings could be sold and owned separately. It should be noted that the applicant today, Rexford Industrial, does not plan to execute the condo map. Along with the tentative parcel map was also an approval of development plan approval case numbers 947 through 949. Essentially a DPA for each of the 3 buildings ranging from 28,146 square feet to 103,950 square feet. This was the proposed site plan. Building 1 was DPA 947, which was the 103,000 square foot building. DPA 948 is building 2, which was 28,000 square feet. DPA 949 was building 3, which is roughly 31,000 square feet. This was the proposed rendering for the project. The project, as with the amendment, will still reflect the same view from the street. This is a view from the southbound side on Pioneer Boulevard. So back in 2020, the applicant at that time was the Brook Hollow Group. The current applicant, Rexford Industrial, they recently purchased the property, and after evaluating the approvals that were granted previously, and specifically due to unknown costs associated with abandoning the existing wells to current standards, the applicant would like to reconfigure the previously approved site plan. Therefore, the applicant is requesting an amendment of the existing DPA case numbers 948 and 949 as it relates to the northerly parcel. DPA 947 will remain unchanged. And in fact, the applicant is already currently in plan check and set to start construction fairly soon. So this is the proposed site plan as it looks today. The change specifically is to building 2 and 3. Building 2 will actually increase in size. It was previously approved at 28,146 square feet. And as proposed today, it will now be 35,834 square feet. Also, building 3 will decrease in size. The previous approval recognized a square footage of 31,422 square feet. The current proposal is for a 22,770 square feet building for an overall net decrease of 961 square feet for the project. It should be noted that the new plan does include additional parking spaces. There are 14 additional parking spaces towards the rear of building 2. But most importantly, the main reason for this proposed amendment is essentially to avoid existing oil wells. As you can see on the site plan, the building footprints are designed now in a way where it avoids building directly over an existing oil well, as well as also preserving access for future access to the wells. Just to show the elevations for building 2, on the left-hand side is the previously approved elevations, and the current proposal is on the right side. And as you'll note, the view from the street, the west elevation specifically, remains essentially unchanged, as well as the office entry features involved on the project itself. Similarly, with building 3 elevations, previously approved is on the left-hand side, current proposal on the right. And again, the office features remain unchanged from the previous proposal. As part of staff's review, we did look at the CEQA requirements. As you'll remember, back in April of 13 of 2020, you did adopt an initial study negative declaration for the initial project. The proposed DPA amendments are within the scope of that previously prepared ISM&D. And since the modified project is not anticipated to result in any new or greater impacts that are beyond those identified previously, an addendum to the existing M&D for the modified project was prepared. Also, as standard practice for public hearing projects, a public hearing notice was mailed out to all property owners within 500-foot radius on February 11th, 2022. Public hearing notice was also posted at City Hall window, Town Center Hall kiosk, as well as the city's library. Additionally, it was posted in the Whittier Daily News on February 11th. And as of the date of this report, there has not been any comments or inquiries received. So for your consideration tonight, the following findings can be made. The proposed project is similar in size as what was previously approved. In fact, there's a net decrease, as mentioned previously, of 961 square feet. The modified project has a total square footage of 58,604 versus what was previously approved at 59,565 square feet. The project still complies with all development standards set forth in the limited manufacturing zone. There was no variance or modification permit required for the original project or this modified project. And again, as mentioned previously, the modified project actually provides 14 additional spaces above and beyond what was originally shown. And lastly, the overall design of the buildings with the setbacks, height variations, and material used is consistent with the previously approved project. So with that said, staff is recommending that you approve the addendum to the existing MND for the modified project, and also approve the requested amendment to DPA case numbers 948 and 949, subject to the conditions as stated in the resolution, and resolution not number 202-2022, which incorporates the commission's findings and actions regarding this matter. I do want to point out that condition 103 actually should have been removed from the list of conditions. It was a condition that applied to the original condo map, which, as mentioned previously, the applicant no longer wishes to pursue the condo map. So therefore, condition number 103 should be removed from the entire list. So that concludes my presentation. I do have members of Rexford Industrial, RJ, as well as Steve Masura in the audience. I also have a representative from EPD who did the addendum to the MND, also available if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Assistant Director. When do any of the commissioners have any questions on this item?
Commissioner Carbajal, none at this time.
Okay,
Commissioner Rounds, no comments or questions.
okay. Johnny?
Commission-
None at this time,
Okay,
Chair
None
Arnold.
at this time, sir.
okay. And Johnny?
None at this time, Chair Arnold.
Okay, thank you. The only question that I have is, when this was originally brought up, and it was approved, I was opposed to it because of the fact that there's a possibility of a logistics center going inside the area of what we're considering the main residential area in the city, inside those railroad tracks. So that was the only question I have. Is it still possible that this the area of the one that I don't know, are we just talking about the upper two units and we're separating out?
Right. So Chair Arnold, before you tonight is an amendment that involves just the buildings to the north side. The applicant does not intend to make any changes to the southerly building or DPA 947.
I'm sorry, I can't hear
Because the
anything.
building down below one that I was opposed to. So
I think we just lost Chair Arnold. His audio is breaking up, and then now I don't see him at all.
Can hear you.
I can hear you.
well, I apologize. I don't know what happened. It was off when Quan was speaking too. So anyway, I just want to find out if the building that's to the south is the building that is going to be used for the possibility of a logistics center. So is that being removed from this discussion, that building below? We're only discussing the two buildings, 2 and 3. Is that correct? I just want to verify that.
Yes, so before you tonight is DPA 948, 949, which it involves the northerly buildings. DPA 947 is a southerly building that you're referring to.
Yeah.
But with regards to the use within the southerly building, it will still have to comply with what is currently permitted, either as a permitted use or accessory or conditional use within the ML zone.
Okay.
So as long as it's consistent with those uses, an occupant or a business could locate in that southerly building.
Okay, but we're eliminating that building from this discussion, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, all right. So that's all. That's the only question that I had. So let me. I guess at this time, I'd open the public hearing at 6:25 p.m. I'd like to call on the applicant, if they wish to speak, to please use the raised hand function at this time. Please state your name and city of residence for the record and address the plan.
Jimmy, if you can give access to RJ Reeves.
I think we're losing him again.
Hello, Commissioners. This is RJ Reeves, Redondo Beach, California. I just want to thank you for your time this evening and consideration, and Kwong for all the work into this presentation. And that is all, unless there's anything else.
I'm sorry, did anyone hear him? I didn't quite hear him.
I
think
heard
we have,
the beginning and the end, and then it went to Snoopy.
yeah, I think we have a bad connection, guys. So if you don't mind, maybe the applicant, we didn't hear what you said.
Sure. RJ Reeves with Wexford Industrial. Just want to thank the commissioners for your time this evening and the consideration, and want to thank Kwong for all of his work in putting this presentation together. Thank you.
It looks like we lost Chair Arnold again. I'm wondering if
I was about to text you, but
I wonder if he should maybe dial in.
That might be the better thing. And then if not, then also, even if he dials in, maybe we can have Vice Chair Jimenez take over. But if we just give him a minute, if you don't mind, Vice Chair Jimenez.
Hello.
Hi,
I'm sorry. My Wi-Fi is going crazy tonight for some reason. So now, is there any questions from the other commissioners on this, or from the applicant on the application?
No questions for us.
Okay. So, is there anyone from the audience wishing to speak on this matter? If so, please use your raised hand function.
Chair Arnold, there's nobody wishing to speak on this matter.
Okay. Was there any comments submitted via
No comments received for this project.
email?
Chair Arnold, if you If you can hear me, this is Kathy, City Attorney's Office. I'm just wondering, because of the bad connection, if it would be easier to have Vice Chair Jimenez run the meeting, just because of the connection. Vice Chair Jimenez, I think that that's probably the best thing. And maybe Wayne, you can go ahead and have him just call versus trying to go through Zoom, like go so he can join us via phone, but not through the internet. I think that will help things run a little bit more smoothly.
Okay, I will.
Okay, did you want me to continue or do you want to wait till we get him on the phone?
You know what? I guess we can apologize that for everyone, particularly the applicant. But if we can just give him a minute so he can dial in, otherwise, you're just gonna go ahead and continue, see if they're go ahead and close the public hearing because there's no other public comments and proceed that way.
But give me an opportunity to get him on the phone, please.
Okay.
I got his voicemail, so I left a message. He's probably trying to call in.
Okay, so I think the best bet is just to have Vice Chair take over, and if he joins, he can join for as part of just the Planning Commission as far as a vote is concerned, but you can go ahead and run it if you don't mind, Vice Chair Jimenez.
Okay, no problem. So I would like to close the public hearing at 6:33. And is there a motion and a second for item number 7?
Commissioner Carbajal, I move.
Commissioner Hernandez, I'll second that motion.
Okay, great. Motion by Commissioner Carbajal, second by Commissioner Hernandez. Now for a roll call vote. Commissioner Rounds,
Aye.
Commissioner Carbajal,
Aye.
Commissioner Hernandez,
Aye.
Chair Arnold.
Hello, this is Ken Arnold. I'm sorry, I called in on the phone line. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to vote yes.
Okay, great. And myself, Vice Chair Jimenez, aye. So ordered.
Okay.
Katia, please.
Yes, 1 second. I'll pull it up. The commission's action on this item shall become effective 14 days after receipt by the applicant of written notice of the commission's action. The applicant and or any other interested party may file an appeal of the commission's actions to the city council, and the appeal must be in writing and filed with the city clerk within the previously mentioned 14-day period. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 8, public hearing. Categorically exempt. CEQA Guidelines Section 15061, zoning text amendment, water pumping and treatment plants in the M2 zone ordinance number 1122, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Santa Fe Springs, amending section 155.243 within chapter 155 zoning of Title 15 of the Santa Fe Springs Municipal Code regarding water pumping and treatment plants within M2 heavy manufacturing zone. I would like to call upon Assistant Planner Claudia Jimenez to please present item number 7.
I will speak on behalf of Claudia Jimenez. She had class to attend to, but staff is recommending that this item be continued to your March 14th Planning Commission date to allow staff additional time to provide further studies, as well as provide our city attorney's office an opportunity to review the zone text amendment before it comes before you. When we initially set the matter, we were on target to complete everything, but there just simply wasn't enough time.
Okay, great. Do I have to open up a public hearing?
We do not. My only thing is I would say, let's ask Teresa if there's anybody here to speak on regards to that matter. And I would just ask them to come to the next next meeting so they can go ahead and speak as to that item.
Okay,
I didn't receive any comments and I don't see any raise hand functions for this item.
Okay, you can go ahead and continue without opening it to the date certain, which is our next meeting. As long as there's a motion and a second and a vote.
okay, could I get a motion to move item number 8 to our next planning commission meeting?
Commissioner Rounds will move.
Commissioner Hernandez, I'll second that motion.
Okay, great. Now for a roll call vote. Chair Arnold,
Yes.
Commissioner Carvajal,
Aye.
Commissioner Hernandez,
Aye.
Commissioner Rounds,
Aye.
and myself, Vice Chair Jimenez, aye, so ordered. Okay, item number 9, consent items. Consent agenda items are considered routine matters which may be enacted by one motion or roll call vote. Any item may be removed from the consent agenda considered separately by the Planning Commission. Item number 9 are planning consent items. We have 3 consent items. Unless one of the commissioners would like planning staff to present an item for further discussion, is there a motion and a second for the approval of item 9A through 9C? Could I get a motion?
Commissioner Carvajal, I move consent agenda.
Commissioner Rounds will second.
Great. Motion by Commissioner Carvajal, second by Commissioner Rounds. Now for a roll call vote. Chair Arnold,
Aye.
Commissioner Hernandez,
Aye.
Commissioner Carvajal,
Aye.
Commissioner Rounds,
Aye.
and myself, Vice Chair Jimenez, aye, so ordered. Moving on to item number 10, presentations, a presentation of 2021 planning and development accomplishments. I would like to call upon Assistant Director Kwan to please present item number 10.
Good evening, Commissioners. Just have a brief presentation for you tonight, just essentially to highlight the 2021 accomplishments for the Planning and Development Department. You bear with me, I'll share my screen.
Yes, it does. Now make the screen bigger.
That's the problem, it's playing a demo on this side.
Perhaps you do it at the next meeting.
Kwong, we're seeing your upcoming slide.
Yeah, let's
Why don't we try?
let's just
for the
redo
next
it
meeting?
where
Yeah.
we can actually see it live. Yeah, it just doesn't want to show the second screen for some reason. Apologize.
Okay, no problem. Would rather see it in a better view.
Sounds
It
good.
looks good though. It looks good, Kwan.
It did. The sound was totally IMAX. It was great.
So hopefully we'll be able to give you the same presentation in the council chamber, and the acoustics there I hear is much better.
Okay, great. Okay, moving on to announcements. Are there any commissioners that have any announcements they would like to share?
Commissioner Carbajal, the Santa Fe Springs Women's Club will be holding its annual Quartermania. Well, actually back to Quartermania since these past few years we couldn't do it. It is going to be at Town Center Hall. Tickets are $20 a person, and it includes your lunch. If anyone is interested, please see me. And there's going to be great raffles as well there. We look forward to seeing everybody there as well. And I just had a question on our item 6 was, when is that being tabled till? Is that next meeting?
Table mean that it's not at a specific meeting.
Okay,
They'll have to come back at some other time. I'm working on some items on that. So you'll know next time. You'll know in advance when it comes back.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other comments from the commissioners? Or announcements?
This is Chair Arnold. I just started a new chemo regimen today. They put me on a new medication because the one that they were using is not working on the cancer any longer. And since it's not working any longer, they're not going to be able to put me on the clinical trial. So now they have me on another drug that is kind of an experimental thing. It's been around for about a year and a half. And they've had about a 30% success rate with it. So we're going to give this a try and see how it goes. And I appreciate all your thoughts and prayers, and I appreciate all the stuff that the staff and the commissioners have done this last year. I know it's been kind of a difficult time. You know, I missed several of the meetings because I was either in the hospital or doing something. And so I apologize for not being able to be with you all the time. And I just want to say I appreciate all the stuff that you guys have done and all your thoughts and prayers over this last year. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Arnold, or Chair Arnold, I should say, excuse me. And no need to apologize. We are lucky to have you with us and very grateful.
Thank you, Gabe.
Gabriel, if I could just say something real quick. Ken,
Yes, sir.
I echo what Gabriel just said. Definitely don't need any apologies. You know, with your wealth of knowledge and your interest and your passion about the city, you bring so much to the table that, you know, we're here for you, you're here for us, and it was no problem at all. It was never any issue, nothing. As you said, we've all been praying for you, and I like the 30%. You're a tough cookie, and you're going to beat this stuff. So hang in there, buddy. And you know, you're going to have to put up with us for many, many more years.
Thanks, Bill.
Any other announcements from the commissioners?
I just want to also say, Chair Arnold, you're a lot tougher than Rocky, and I have no doubt that you'll beat this once and for all.
I got my glove raised.
And Commissioner Carbajal, yes, going back with everybody, Ken, you are a great leader, and we've learned about you a wealth of knowledge, and I appreciate you taking sometimes what I call my dumb questions, but advising me and letting me understand just how things are running. And I appreciate that. I appreciate your family. Blessings to you in Jesus' name for a complete healing.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, are there any announcements from staff?
None
Yes,
from
so,
me.
go ahead, Kwon.
I was just saying none from me. Thank you.
For me, just to Chairperson Arnold, just prayers and thoughts with you. That's all.
Wayne, you're a great friend, and I appreciate everything that you do for the city.
Thank you, sir.
Any other announcements? Okay, seeing no other announcements, I would like to adjourn this meeting at 6:52.
Good
Bye,
night.
everyone.
Good night, everyone.